trespassing.
Yeah.
Please leave the area.
See that?
This area is under video surveillance and you have been recorded.
Yeah. I am actually here at the front gate of the infamous Skinwalker Ranch. Check out Randy's shop and buy something. It's a one-of-a-kind handmade art pieces. You're not gonna find it anywhere else. What was inside of this big backpack was this red pouch of pigment. And there's a whole big ball of red ochre sitting in there. You ready? There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown. Everywhere has cool paintings and murals, and if you don't believe me, this is what I mean. This is back in the alley by like the dumpster and everything that nobody even hardly sees. And they didn't have to do this, but some artists came out here in the business and they painted a giant grizzly bear coming out of the wall. And pretty much everywhere you go, there's amazing spots like that. See, look, they didn't have to do that. Big cool painted mural. And they look over here and like, oh yeah, dinosaur statue again. See what I mean? They didn't have to do this. Whoever has this cool little building here on the side of the road didn't have to do a giant mural of dinosaurs to make it fun for kids, but they did. You know why? Because this city is cool. The people that live up here in Vernal are cool people, and they're artistic. And they took this little spot and they did stuff like this with it. Boom! I think the whole town is just, I commend it for that. And if you come here, it's worth going around and checking out all the cool artistry and the cool graffiti everywhere and the murals and the statues and stuff, because you could run all day almost like a scavenger hunt around here just looking at all the fun stuff to see. I just want you to look at this and appreciate this. I'm just trying to drive out to where these petroglyphs and pictographs are supposed to be. This is just like a car wash on Vernal Avenue, north of town, out in the middle of nowhere almost. And look at the mural they put on the wall here. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? On the side of a car wash, it doesn't even have the name of the business or anything on there. Who is this? Is this guy on Instagram? I'm gonna go follow this person, whoever that is, because well done. Wow, that is freaking cool. This whole town, this whole place, everybody here is unique and interesting like this. I really love it. Okay, here we go on a wild hunt based on a tip from the legendary Randy. So I'm following along this road and I'm just looking for basic landmarks and looking off to the right. But this is kind of just to the south and west from where I was this morning, up at that location where there was all the graffiti and the nails in the ground, which reminds me, I gotta check my tires, make sure I don't have any nails. But there's, okay, it's already looking familiar. I think there's supposed to be some kind of a culvert pipe that goes underneath the road that I'm looking for. And then I have to go climb up the hill, but holy smokes, this is looking cool. I apologize for how many bug splatters that I have on the windshield. I did just stop at that car wash and probably should have used it. But there's this whole cement embankment here, and all of these rocks along the side of the hill have these little crevices that go back in there, so we'll have to keep our eye out. Randy said nobody knows about this spot. This is weird, look at this. What is that? Is this what he was talking about? It's like a big walkway or ramp that goes clear up there to like a shack. I don't know, we might have to circle back and check that out. But it looks like this embankment might cross underneath the road right here. So maybe we're getting close. I mean, even back in these little pockets all over here. Can you imagine having this be your house right here? I mean, there's probably indigenous artifacts underneath that house and back up in the canyon right there behind it. I mean, right? There could be, this whole place is just covered with it. Look at all these cliffs and everything. So I think we passed it. I've actually turned around and now I'm going back because he described where there was concrete that goes underneath the road or a culvert, and I just went by that up here. I can see some graffiti and carvings up that little canyon right there, but it doesn't quite fit the description. Maybe. But look, this looks like up here is where this cement culvert is. See, it could be right up here. Maybe. It does look like there's a little bit of a semblance of a trail. Maybe a game trail, but definitely does not seem like very many people know about this spot. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to climb up and over this to go up there, because I think the spot that I need to go is right up there, guys. All right, we're in. Well, now there's like a creepy troglodyte tunnel behind me we get to think about while we hike up here, but I am so excited. I don't know if very many people, if anybody really even knows about the spot. I didn't know about this. It looks like a pictograph from what Randy described to me. It's a tall red figure with a big headdress, so it should be really cool. I'm not even sure if I'm technically supposed to be over here, but whatever. We're gonna come and check it out, see what we can find, guys. I think this is it. This is the canyon that goes up. So here, I'm just gonna keep filming as I look along here, check for carvings. This is all connected to the same pictographs and petroglyphs that they just found at Skinwalker Ranch and the surrounding area. That's a big part of what I'm doing here, is exploring the surrounding area and the bigger connected mysteries beyond just Skinwalker Ranch, and everything that's connected. And this is definitely the canyon, because I can see it right up there behind me. This looks like a little pocket cave. I'm looking on both sides, but let's just go up here and take a look at this. I'm trying to watch where I step in case there's pottery. Whoa, no way. Look at this, you guys. Holy smokes. That is crazy. I can see carvings, there's petroglyphs, and then there is that red ochre pictograph. It looks like a shaman figure or something with a huge spread headdress. This whole wall looks like a big panel. Let's see if I can find a way over here, guys. Wow, that is so cool. This is so cool. You guys check this out. It's actually quite high up there, you guys. When I lift this up, I have to extend my selfie stick all the way. But look at this. You see the red man figure. He's got, almost looks like a headdress. He's got the big things going off the top of his head, almost like antenna or some big headdress thing. He's got his hands going down. Can you count the fingers? It's difficult because look how many fingers on this hand. It's almost like his digits go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they continue counting on up and up. It's like his hand goes up almost like a rake. And then notice all the carved petroglyph bullseyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe more. And they're all in a bullseye pattern, right? Superimposed. Same with the carvings of those notches by the fingers. There's also carvings going up, and I've seen that exact same similar thing clear up down by southern Utah on the edge of Arizona. Same as this red man pictograph. All the other petroglyphs the whole way up, including the oral tradition and the legend of the giant serpent living in this valley as part of the creation story. Aside from the creation story, you also have all of these depictions of these entities or these shaman or these figures that have strange features to them. It looks like he's wearing some kind of a tunic, but he has like really short legs and arms. I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can get a closer look. Notice how as I pan around, you don't see any other petroglyphs. There's no other carvings. It's just this red pigment. And you've also got these other dots. So there's the dot right here, one right here, and then you've got the red man figure. And then here we have this almost like this sort of like upsilon symbol as well that we see all the time. I hate even calling it or giving it a name like that. Looks like horns or ram horns or some kind of a symbol like that, as well as these petroglyphs carved underneath it. This is just magnificent. And look, oh, there's his feet coming down. He does have legs. It's almost like he's wearing a tunic. Is there any toes? I'll have to watch the footage back. But look at the symbols, almost like he's coming out of some kind of a spiritual dimension or realm. This figure with all the glyphs and the symbolism around. Pan back a little bit. Just incredible. What an amazing thing. Thank you, Randy, for telling me how to come and find this thing. It makes me wonder, I kind of want to keep hiking up a little bit further, see what else we find. But before I go poking around or trespassing on these sacred grounds right here, go further up the canyon, I'm just going to sit here and meditate for a little while. I brought tobacco offerings and things in my backpack, so I'm just going to sit here and connect with the place. And I wonder if there's like a resident here. Let's just see the echo. Hey! The echo is not as much as you would expect in this area, but this almost just looks like a, I don't know. It definitely looks supernatural to me. It doesn't look like depictions of a normal way of life. It's almost like this canyon is a pathway or something all the way down. I'm gonna have to look this up on the GPS on Google Earth too, see exactly where it is and how it falls in line with everything else in the area. Look at this, guys. I just can't get enough. It's so intense. The motif and the symbolism. It almost looks like there you've got the figure with the headdress and the tunic with the short legs, which we've seen clear down in southern Utah. And then look at the arc of the fingers, the hand going up. That almost looks like another figure standing in white next to the red figure with all of the bullseye symbols. Over there we see another little figure over there. Here, I'll zoom in just a little bit. You've got another figure in white with symbols above, and then the petroglyphs underneath of the deer or the elk. There's so many layers, you see what I mean? From the carvings to the white pigment to the red, layered over top of each other. Just incredible. It almost looks like there's a symbol with like a circle with stuff coming off the bottom there, and then there's a figure there, like another person or entity, and then these bullseye patterns. So amazing. Such a mind-blowing discovery. This looks like layers from Desert Archaic all the way up through Fremont people. I mean, that's what they're red and the other ones look like, but the ones in the white pigment and the petroglyphs, very cool. They look very old to me. And what's amazing is, look, it's all been adapted into this water channel. Now there's like this culvert pipe with the cement ditch right here running the drainage off. So this whole area in this canyon right here must have been all about the water flowing down this canyon. So it makes me wonder if there's this guy here, if there's anything. I think I'm gonna hike a little bit further up there and look around, and then we're gonna call it good, because this is just an amazing find. That's why it pays to not just like read what you see online, but to make friends with people who are locals, gain their trust and their respect, and make sure and honor their heritage and customs and beliefs and everything, and make sure that you do a proper job and come up here if you do it. Don't touch them, don't take anything. Leave like a spiritual offering of something like tobacco or cornmeal that's biodegradable. Don't leave trash, and pick up litter on your way out. But I just think it's amazing. One of a kind opportunity to be able to come up here and know where this is and find it today. See, that's what I've been trying to do for the last 2 years. Like, I don't think anybody on the Skinwalker Ranch team has had the time or the energy outside of the ranch to come and do this kind of stuff, to see if these sites line up or have anything to do with the pictographs and petroglyphs and stuff that we find there on the mesa at Skinwalker Ranch and in other locations, and if it ties in to this indigenous mapping system that could go back thousands of years and connect some of these locations to other places of significance and supernatural phenomena all over the world. I also gotta keep an eye out for big kitty cats, mountain lions. There's been an animal scat all over the place. Let's see if we can get up through here. Definitely don't want to twist an ankle. But you got to figure, if there was the pictograph right down there, they were crawling all over. There's probably other stuff up and around. They may not have done any other carvings or drawings other than that one spot, but there could be pocket caves with artifacts. Or, oh yeah, see, this other side comes over and drops down. I'm gonna look around a little bit. We'll see if we find anything. I'm a little bit out of breath. I haven't been hiking in a while because of an injured back and shoulder and ankle and truck problems. But I might be going crazy, but I'm looking straight up this canyon and it looks like a big panel of petroglyphs. Like, I wonder if nobody's ever seen these before. Like, holy smokes. I'm like, I don't know, my instincts, I've done this a little bit too much. Zoom in, look at that. Doesn't that look like a whole wall of figures and objects and stuff up there. Straight shot up the canyon from where the red man is, right down there. It's like, boom. Way up here on the right now, clear up here from the road. And it's looking more and more like petroglyphs right there. Sorry for the wind. I do have a windsock on, but also look at this of what I found, because I've been coming up here and standing on the peaks and looking down to see if I can find medicine wheels and other stuff. But I found something. Definitely a grinding stone. I don't know, there's all these pockets all over the place where it could have just been done right here. But this was a stone tool. I'm not even going to touch it, pick it up or anything, but very cool. And then I look up the ridge from right here, and it's straight in line with what it looks like. It looks like petroglyphs. Maybe I'm mistaken, maybe it's not, but it kind of does. And then also, when I turn, sorry, I'm kidding about the wind. I turn and look down here, and that right there. On your way back down, we'll check it out. The end, sorry about the wind. So I hiked all the way up to the top of this hill because this looked like petroglyphs. But once you get up here close, look at it. Natural geometric shapes of weathering. It's not petroglyphs at all. Totally just natural weathering and chips on the rock. So we're gonna hike our way back down, check some of these other spots on the other side of the canyon, the whole way back down, see if we can find anything else up and around that first one and make our way back out. From down below, definitely looks like carvings, and it is, but just natural weathering and formations and limestone and bird poop and things. No petroglyphs up here. Very cool. I have never seen so much elk and deer poop everywhere. Everywhere I have gone up this entire canyon is completely full of animal crap. But I think all down in these cracks everywhere, like they just come up and down here. But guess what? I think bingo, we definitely have petroglyphs. This is the real deal. We found another set that I don't know. I wasn't even told that these were here. So this is an awesome find. So now it's got me wondering, coming over here, if these ones are on this panel, if there's more on the opposite side from where the red man was, if I climb down a different way than I went up. But let's go. I'm so stoked to see these. So freaking cool. Check these out. They must have camped out here. There's so many animals, fresh water coming down off the mountain. This is just amazing. Sure enough. Wow, these are so cool. Look at the headdresses. There's antelope or goats over here, or deer. And then you've got figures. Look, it's like an adult and a child. You've got this figure as a male with a headdress. Same here. These are three guys with different headdresses, and look at his headdress. Oh look, I didn't even notice this guy over here too. He's just like a standard villager but he's got earrings. So that is a symbol of status. And then look, here's a whole other figure right here. Leg coming up, arm coming over, big horns, and then this is busted off. So I wonder if underneath on this whole thing that's fallen off is a whole bunch more. And I find this a lot, is there's panels like this that depict something. Somebody came along and they break it to try and hide it. So what do you do? Like, what's underneath here? You know, I mean, I do have a snake camera. We could try to fish underneath to see, but I mean, this is so cool. What could be on there that they broke off to try to hide? Whoever came up here and found this and tried to hide it. But you guys, we found more petroglyphs than I even accounted for. And I'm just gonna keep looking around and see if we can see any more. What an incredible day. Hiked all the way to the top up there. Nothing up there, come all the way back down. But sure enough, more petroglyphs. It does definitely look like there's one right here, busted and dumped off on the ground, right? So cool. Okay, I'm gonna hike around a little bit more and see if we can find any more on the way back down. What kind of critter made that track? Is that a bird? What is that? They're not very big, but kind of weird. Can't really tell. It doesn't really look like there's anything here. Probably too much water runoff on this one. Maybe a little bit, possibly here and there. It's hard to tell. It's like a labyrinth up here. So many little pocket caves, nooks and crannies, and walls that could have stuff on it. I'm actually dropping down a different way than I came up, trying to give myself more odds of finding something on my way back down. I'm not satisfied. I feel like I picked a weird way down and I didn't find anything. I want to go on the opposite side the way back down as I came up, so I can double up my chances of finding something. But it was worth it. At least I am taking shots at it and exploring. Since I'm here, I might as well, but I made a choice right here to come around this ridge, this point in the rock, and go that way, when I probably should have gone this way and stayed on this side. Live and learn. Okay, we're back here to the pictograph and the petroglyphs, but we came down this whole opposite side over here, trying to explore, see what we could find. And we're not finding anything. It looks like these have just been used for animal shelters for quite a while. But haven't found anything else. But it was really cool to find the petroglyphs. Definitely not in an obvious spot. Even if you knew where these ones were right here and you came up there, it doesn't look very inviting to go climb all the way up over all that garbage and around the bend to find the other ones. But I'm so glad we did, and that's what I like to do. I feel like I have an instinct for that. I'm like, I know there's more up there, but it was funny. There's none clear up at the top. At least we did our best and took a shot, but these are so cool. I'm gonna spend some time with them just a little bit more. Feels pretty good, guys. Day one on our expedition to research the surrounding areas around the mysteries of and the secret of Skinwalker Ranch. And lo and behold, we find petroglyphs, pictographs, and we find this slot canyon with running water, and everything sort of points in this direction right towards how everything flows down from the top of the mountains down right towards the bottom of the Uinta Basin at the belly of Skinwalker Ranch. And I don't want to try and force fit everything into Skinwalker Ranch. These were definitely done by the Fremont people. These were carved by indigenous cultures that lived up in this area. But the forbidden history, the lost culture, the stories of the tragedies that occurred up in this area, and the supernatural mysteries involved with these pictographs and petroglyphs in their relation to the star people and the oral traditions that existed to this amazing cosmic connection to the stars that these indigenous people had that goes back thousands of years. It's amazing to come up and connect with it, to leave an offering, to experience what's here, to capture it and try to get it on video, to share it with other people, and also to go up and explore and find things that maybe nobody else has seen in a long time, if maybe not ever, around here. What a cool and awesome day. Time to go back to the truck, head into town, and find out what's for dinner. Right across the street from the actual dinosaur museum is the Vernal Brewing Company. This is a really awesome local beer brewery and restaurant where I'm gonna have dinner tonight. I'm not gonna be filming my meal this night, but I'm going to be meeting with the archaeologist and taking a look at the menu. And then I'm probably gonna be coming back tomorrow with my cousin where we'll all sample different stuff around the menu. And I will film that, so if you want to see what it's like to eat here at the Zion Brewing Company, make sure and subscribe and turn on notifications to check back for that, where I'm doing local food reviews and restaurant stuff and where to go and all the things to do in and around all these cool haunted paranormal hotspots all over the place. They brew all their own beer here, so check this out. They have this entire beer menu and cocktails and all of that. But if you come here, this is what you want to do, is the featured craft beer, and then this is the menu, and this looks a little bit more up to par and modern as far as menus go, so pretty good. And honestly, pricing looks decent, looks pretty decent. So all right, I'll let you know what I got. I think I'm actually going to try and do the Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. I'm going to go with the old school pepperoni, and we'll see how the Vernal Skinwalker Ranch pepperoni pizza holds up here at the Vernal Brewing Company. And I'm kind of a lager guy, so I'm going to get the Little Hole Lager beer. I'm going to get a coffee too, because if the sky clears up, I want to get the night vision out, drive over nearby Skinwalker Ranch or maybe Bottle Hollow, see if I can do some UFO watching tonight. Good morning. It's the next morning. So I had dinner with the archaeologist. It was so awesome. We're totally planning to go to Mount Wilson and open the sword. He even made a reference that the Knights of Pythias sword at Mount Wilson might actually be connected to one of the Rockefellers who was a prominent Knights Pythias member. So all the connections with the Rockefeller family and what it might have to do with Mount Wilson Ranch, and then the connection between Bigelow and Skinwalker Ranch is all super fascinating. But he's gonna actually come to Mount Wilson Ranch and help make the connections between Skinwalker and Mount Wilson, and also help us date and identify a lot of the indigenous artifacts that we find there. And I think it's going to lead to some new discoveries that nobody's ever seen before. But I did also save the pizza for my dinner last night. I'll show you the leftovers and give you my rating. The Vernal Brewing Company pizza. I like that they use the large size pepperoni, the thin crust. Their crust was really good. It has the crispy cornmeal, and it looks a little bit chewy. If I cooked it on the stove and heated it up right, it would probably be really amazing. But this is probably the best pizza in Vernal right now, for sure. Vernal Brewing Company might actually be the best restaurant in the entire town. In fact, when I looked at the menu and the selection of custom crafted brews and beer. The pizza was awesome. I would give the pizza probably 7 to 8 as far as like best pizzas I've ever had, but I've had pizza at the original first pizza oven in New York City, so it's kind of like hard to top all of that. But yeah, I would say that Vernal Brewing Company is definitely a place if you want to have a nice dinner and a good beer after a long day. Very good, a nice addition to the town for sure. I'm actually over here on the edge of Bottle Hollow. That is Bottle Hollow right there. This is actually designed as a giant prayer circle. It's just incredible, the amount of detail. Okay, I'm directly underneath the pyramid. Look at the headdress on him. Look at the size of his feet. How many toes? Holding some kind of a weapon. And then the head is actually of a dog man. He said that that is actually not an antelope, it is a skinwalker. It's not a dinosaur. That is a petroglyph of a skinwalker.